When it comes to relationships with a significant age gap, many people instinctively assume it's about someone young, trying to escape hardship by latching onto an older partner. But not every such relationship is built on convenience. Some are based on real love. One powerful example is the story of Chinese actress and model Rao Min, who is 16 years older than her husband Thomas, a former Lithuanian model. The couple has striking looks and a love story that transcends not just age, but also borders. Their relationship proves that true love isn't bound by age, money, or status. Thomas was born in 1993 in Lithuania, a small country in Northern Europe. Although the country only spans about 60,000 square kilometers, Thomas came from a prosperous, well-educated family. He inherited the best features from his parents and was a handsome child from a young age. By the time he reached college, Thomas stood at an impressive 1.95 meters tall. With a strong physique, a dignified demeanor, a chiseled jawline, a high nose bridge, and deep-set eyes, he looked like he had stepped right out of a movie scene. His natural looks would later become the foundation of his modeling career. But what truly changed his life was a trip to China at the age of 19. During that trip, Thomas was captivated by the country's rich culture and history. Inspired, he began learning Chinese and started planning a future journey back. That summer, during his first year of college, Thomas visited Guangzhou. By chance, he was spotted by a modeling agency and offered a commercial job. The idea of earning money while traveling excited him, and he eagerly accepted. Curious and enthusiastic about everything around him, Thomas quickly signed with the agency. And then fate stepped in. Just 2 weeks after he arrived in China, a 35-year-old woman walked into his life and into his heart. That woman was Rao Min, a Cantonese beauty. While her name might not ring a bell for everyone, her face certainly would. She had appeared in countless commercials for well-known brands like Yulin Oil, Dabao Facial Cream, and Hyphy's Shampoo. She also had roles in films such as How Many Grudges Can Wenjun Have? And The Song Dynasty. At the peak of her career, Rao Min chose to step back from the limelight to focus on marriage. She had hoped for happiness, but ended up in a marriage full of conflict. After having a daughter, the tension with her then-husband became unbearable, and they divorced. Determined to create a good life for her daughter, Rao Min fought for custody. She worked hard to build a stable home, providing everything she could. Despite being a single mother, Rao Min maintained her elegance and charm. At 35, she stood 1.7 meters tall and looked no older than 20. Her gentle smile and calm demeanor immediately caught Thomas's attention. They first met at a bar. Thomas had just arrived in China and hadn't even gotten a local SIM card yet. While many beautiful women were there that night, none captivated him until Rao Min walked in. She had a classic, serene beauty that matched his ideal of Eastern femininity. Realizing he might not get another chance, he rushed out to a nearby mobile shop, got a SIM card, and hurried back, hoping she hadn't left. Luckily, she was still there. Nervously, with limited Chinese, he approached her and said, "Hello, I want to be friends with you." To Thomas's surprise, she smiled politely and walked away. In her eyes, he was likely just a tourist or a student, someone who would soon move on. She didn't see any reason to engage. Thomas was crushed. He spent the next day in low spirits, convinced he'd never see her again. But fate had other plans. The very next day, Thomas showed up to shoot a commercial and was stunned to find that his female co-star was none other than Rao Min. Their surprise at seeing each other was mutual. This coincidence gave them the opportunity to work closely together, and they soon exchanged contact details. Thomas used their work connection as an excuse to call her, ask questions, and eventually invite her to dinner and coffee. At first, Rao Min was often late and distant, but over time she began to see a different side of him. She found him simple, sincere, and sweet, almost like a younger brother. But Thomas didn't want to be just a younger brother. One night, after a long day of work, they went out for a late-night snack. With courage in his eyes, Thomas looked at her and confessed his feelings. Rao Min was stunned. She had sensed his affection, but never imagined he would be so serious. In Western culture, saying, "I like you," usually means wanting to start a romantic relationship. But saying, "I love you," often implies marriage intentions. Rao Min was 35 years old, divorced, and had an 8-year-old daughter. Thomas was just a young, unmarried man. She couldn't imagine how this could work. She gently told him her truth, her age, her child, her past, and asked him to think carefully. Thomas was surprised. She looked so youthful, easily passing for someone in her 20s, but her honesty only made her more admirable in his eyes. To him, that sincerity made her even more deserving of lifelong companionship. Still, Rao Min was hesitant. Love and marriage are two very different things. She didn't want her second marriage to end in regret. So she told Thomas, "I don't think we're right for each other." Thomas was heartbroken. But then he said something that completely changed her mind. "I think we are right for each other. I'm almost 30. I just look young because of my fair skin." Rao Min was touched by his persistence and eventually accepted his love. Before fully committing, Rao Min wanted to prepare her daughter mentally. Thomas, understanding the importance of winning over the child, asked Rao Min about her daughter's favorite things. He carefully picked out gifts, snacks, toys, and made an effort to spend time with her. He played games with her, helped with homework, and treated her like a younger sister. Over time, the little girl warmed up to him. Just when the couple began talking about marriage, Thomas hesitated. He knew he had to come clean. One night, he turned to Rao Min and said, "Dear, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm only 19. I told you I was 30 so we could be together. Are you angry with me?" Rao Min was stunned. Could a relationship between someone 35 and someone just 19 really last? Maybe Thomas was sincere now, but would he regret this in a few years? And what about his family? Would they accept a woman 16 years older who already had a child? But Thomas stood firm. He wasn't acting on impulse. In Western cultures, families tend to respect individual choices in love and marriage. His parents supported him, and that cleared the biggest obstacle in their path. In 2013, Thomas and Rao Min married in Guangzhou and officially became husband and wife. After the wedding, they both continued working in China's modeling industry. But Rao Min, aware that modeling was a young person's game, began thinking long-term. On the advice of a friend, she invested her savings into opening a hotel, thinking her network in the entertainment world would help. Thomas fully supported her dream. He contributed his entire savings of 300,000 yuan. They were confident the business would take off. But the reality of running a bar-style venue proved far more difficult than expected. Income couldn't keep up with rent and operating costs. Eventually, they had to sell the business. And that's when the real heartbreak happened. They were scammed during the sale. Not only did they lose all their investment, but they also couldn't repay the money borrowed from friends. It was around this time that they were planning to expand their family. Rao Min became pregnant again, which meant she couldn't work. All the financial pressure fell on Thomas. He worked tirelessly to support the household. When Rao Min gave birth to their son, she suffered from a postpartum complication and required round-the-clock care. Thomas never wavered. He looked after both his wife and their newborn with unwavering dedication. As their son grew older, the couple returned to work. It took them 3 years, but they finally managed to repay their debts. Just when life seemed to stabilize, Rao Min became pregnant again. Once more, Thomas shouldered the full weight of the family's needs. Despite the sacrifices, he never complained. Out of love, he took on the responsibilities of both husband and father far earlier than most, but he embraced them wholeheartedly. Today, after 10 years of marriage, Rao Min and Thomas are still as in love as ever. Their children, siblings from the same mother, are close and affectionate. Anyone watching their videos can sense the warmth and happiness in their home. Now 45, Rao Min hardly looks her age. Her youthful glow often surprises fans. When asked about her beauty secret, she smiles and replies, "It has nothing to do with cosmetics. It's probably because of love." Indeed, a woman surrounded by love radiates joy. Her heart is full, and it shows on her face. As for the doubts people once had about their relationship, they've long been put to rest. Some used to call her a little fairy who had cast a spell, but the truth is far simpler. When Thomas first fell in love with Rao Min, he didn't know she was a well-known actress and model. He didn't know her age. He didn't know she had been married before. His love wasn't based on appearances, fame, or wealth. It was based on who she was. And that, above all, is what makes their story so powerful.